I'm Alice Munywa, and I work with the Mozilla Corporation. I'm leading their policy work in the Africa region. We are seeing quite an alarming trend across, not just in Africa, but across several countries, where governments are beginning to tax, to simply tax what we call over-the-top service providers. And over-the-top service providers are service providers that ride on the telecom infrastructure and provide services, internet-related services, riding on telecom infrastructure. In Africa, the trend is, countries like Uganda, Zambia, and others, we see the trend where governments begin to really specifically, target sector-specific taxation on WhatsApp and Facebook. And we've seen that, especially in the Ugandan case. Now, the problem with that model of taxation is that you're taxing really the bottom of the pyramid, the people who depend on WhatsApp and Facebook and others to perhaps conduct business. There's really no regulatory framework in terms of how to tax social media without really impacting the people, who really need, who can't even afford the services in the first place, or find it difficult to spend that amount of money on those services in the first place. So I think for Mozilla, what we'd like to urge is, we're not saying that governments should not consider taxing the internet economy. I think it's about time most governments and most of us begin to think of what is the value chain of the digital economy. So what's the best way to tax it? And I don't believe that social media taxation is the best way to go about it. And I think what we need to urge most governments, and specifically African governments, is to first understand the digital economy, where the value of the digital economy, also recognize that the value is actually most often user-generated. And so perhaps come up with a new framework that specifically looks at or begins to address other ways and means of taxing the digital economy, rather than specifically, focusing on taxing the social media.